My brother became my beautiful sister. EMT and Ryder sat quietly in the back seat while their adoptive parents chatted up front. It had only been a little over a year since the brothers joined this family, yet it already felt like they had always belonged there. EMT, the younger one, rested his head against the window, watching the world blur past. But his thoughts were far away, drifting toward a truth he kept hidden deep inside. A truth he wasn't ready to speak aloud. Ryder noticed, as he always did. He gently nudged him. "What's on your mind?" EMT smiled faintly. "Just thinking how lucky we are." It wasn't the full truth, but it was enough for now. Ryder wrapped an arm around his shoulders. "Yeah, we really are." From the front, their mom glanced back with a warm smile. "You boys hungry? There's a diner coming up." "Starving," Ryder answered instantly. EMT nodded, feeling a quiet warmth bloom inside him. Moments like this made everything feel safe, like maybe one day he could finally be honest. Time passed, but EMT's thoughts only grew louder. He found himself staring into mirrors longer than before, imagining softer features, longer hair, a different reflection staring back. At night, one name echoed in his mind like a secret song. Emily. One evening, heart pounding, EMT stepped into their shared room. Ryder was lying on his bed, flipping through a comic. "Hey, can we talk?" Ryder sat up immediately. "Of course." EMT sat down, hands trembling. The words felt heavy, like they might shatter everything. I don't think I'm supposed to be a boy." Silence filled the room. "Then, I think I'm a girl." For a moment, nothing happened. Then Ryder moved closer and wrapped an arm around him, just like always. "Okay." That was it. No shock. No anger. Just acceptance. Tears welled up in EMT's eyes. "You're not upset?" Ryder shook his head.
Never. You're my sibling.
"That doesn't change. I just want you to be happy." And just like that, the walls EMT had built for years came crashing down. He buried his face in Ryder's shoulder, crying harder than he ever had before. When the tears finally faded, Ryder smiled softly. "Have you thought of a name?" A shy smile appeared. "Emily." Ryder nodded. "Emily, yeah, that fits you." The next day, with Ryder beside her, Emily told their parents. Her voice shook. Her hands trembled. But their reaction? Pure love. "Oh, sweetheart," their mother whispered, pulling her into a tight hug. "We love you. Always." Their father placed a steady hand on her shoulder. "We've got you. No matter what." And just like that, everything changed. In the weeks that followed, Emily's world began to bloom. Her parents supported her every step of the way, finding resources, learning alongside her, making sure she felt safe and seen. Ryder stayed by her side through it all, never once letting her feel alone. Little by little, Emily began to express herself.
Her clothes changed.
Her hair grew longer. Her confidence slowly, beautifully unfolded. One afternoon, she stood in front of the mirror, carefully applying mascara for the first time. Her hand slipped. "Ugh, seriously?" A knock came at the door. "You okay in there?" Ryder called. "Define okay," she laughed.
He peeked in.
"Need help?" "You," she teased. "Since when are you a makeup expert?" Ryder grinned. "Hey, I've watched enough tutorials with you." She handed him the mascara. "All right then, let's see what you've got." With exaggerated focus, Ryder carefully applied it. When he stepped back, he smiled proudly. Emily looked in the mirror, and her face lit up. "It's perfect." As the months passed, Emily truly came into her own. She made friends who accepted her without question. She joined the drama club and discovered a love for performing, a place where she could finally be herself, completely and unapologetically. Ryder watched her transformation with pride. His little sibling, no, his sister, was finally happy. And that meant everything. Ryder leaned against the doorway, quietly watching his sister get ready. For a moment, he didn't say anything, just took in the scene before him. The girl standing at the mirror looked so different from the brother he'd grown up with. Not wrong, just different. And sometimes, that difference still caught him off guard. "You've gotten really good at that," he finally said, nodding toward her makeup. Emily smiled at his reflection in the mirror.
"Practice."
Lots of it. Silence followed, soft, familiar, but carrying something unspoken. Ryder shifted slightly. You know, sometimes I miss how things used to be. He hesitated, then added quietly, Is that bad? Emily's hands paused. She turned to face him fully, her expression gentle. No, she said softly. It's not bad. She stepped closer. I miss some things too. But I'm really happy now. Like, truly happy. Ryder nodded quickly. I know. And I wouldn't change that. Not for anything. He exhaled. I guess I'm just still catching up. Emily smiled and pulled him into a hug. We're still us, she whispered. You're still my annoying big brother, and I'm still your bratty little sister. Ryder laughed quietly, hugging her back tighter. Yeah, that hasn't changed. He pulled away with a smirk. And hey, now I can steal your clothes. Emily gasped dramatically. Don't even think about it. You could never pull off my style. As time moved forward, Emily's journey continued. With the support of her doctors, she began hormone therapy. At first, the changes were subtle, barely noticeable unless you were really paying attention. But Ryder noticed. Her features softened. Her voice grew gentler. The way she carried herself shifted, more confident, more at ease. And somehow brighter. It wasn't just how she looked. It was how she felt. Ryder couldn't help but admire her strength. What she had done, what she was still doing, took courage he wasn't sure he'd ever have. And with that admiration came something else. A quiet, protective instinct. One afternoon, they spread a blanket beneath a tree in the park, enjoying the warmth of the sun. Emily's phone buzzed. She glanced at it and smiled. Ryder noticed immediately. Okay, what's that look for? Emily tried to hide it, but the blush gave her away. It's Olivia. She wants to hang out this weekend. Ryder raised an eyebrow. Olivia, Drama Club Olivia? Emily nodded, tucking her hair behind her ear. We've been talking a lot. Ryder studied her expression. The smile, the nerves, the excitement. Yeah, he knew that look. That's great, he said, though his tone carried a hint of caution. Just be careful, okay? Not everyone's as accepting. Emily's expression softened. I know, but she knows about me and she doesn't care. That eased something in him, but not completely. Well, he said, half teasing, I could come along. You know, as security. Emily laughed.
Please.
You'd scare her off with your terrible jokes. Hey, my jokes are elite. Delusional. They both laughed, the tension dissolving. And in that moment, Ryder realized something important. Things had changed, yes. But what they had, that bond, still unbreakable. The weekend arrived faster than expected. Emily stood in her room, surrounded by discarded outfits. Ryder, she called. I need help. He stepped in, immediately raising an eyebrow at the mess.
Wow.
What happened here? Natural disaster? Very funny, she shot back. I have nothing to wear. Ryder glanced around, then picked up a soft blue sweater and a pair of dark jeans. How about this? Emily tilted her head, considering. Okay, that actually works. She looked at him, suspiciously. Since when do you have taste? He grinned. Living with you has its benefits. As she changed, Ryder sat on the edge of her bed, watching her with a thoughtful expression. So, you really like her? Emily stepped out, adjusting her sweater. Yeah, she admitted softly. She makes me feel normal, like I'm just any other girl. Ryder's chest tightened slightly, but he smiled. You are just any other girl, he said. Actually, better than most. Emily's expression softened. Thanks, Ree. A few minutes later, the doorbell rang. Emily froze for a second. Nervous. Ryder stood and gave her a quick hug. You've got this. She nodded, taking a deep breath. Then she headed downstairs. Ryder stayed at the top of the stairs, watching as she opened the door. He didn't hear what was said, but he saw her smile. And that was enough. The door closed behind her, and as the house grew quiet, Ryder leaned against the wall. His heart felt full.
Pride.
Worry. A little sadness. But more than anything,
Love.
Because no matter how much things had changed, she was still his little sister. And she always would be. After Emily left, the house felt different. Quieter. Ryder drifted into his room and dropped onto his bed, staring up at the ceiling. His thoughts tangled together, pride, worry, confusion, all circling back to one person. Emily. A soft knock broke the silence. Their parents stepped in, exchanging a glance before their mom sat beside him. "Everything okay, sweetheart?" Ryder let out a slow breath. "Yeah, I think so. I've just been thinking about Emily." His dad leaned casually against the doorframe. "What about her?" Ryder sat up, rubbing the back of his neck. "It's just everything's changing so fast. She's different, but she's not, you know? And I'm trying to figure out where I fit in all of it." His mom smiled gently, resting a hand on his shoulder. "Change can feel overwhelming, even when it's good. But your place in her life hasn't changed." His dad nodded. "You're still her brother, her protector, her best friend. That doesn't go away, it just grows." Ryder absorbed their words, the tightness in his chest easing slightly. "I just worry about her," he admitted. "The world isn't always kind. I wish I could protect her from all of it." His mom's expression softened. "We know. But loving someone also means letting them live their life. We can't shield her from everything, but we can make sure she always has a place where she's safe." Ryder gave a small, thoughtful nod. "Yeah, you're right." Later that night, the sound of the front door broke the quiet. Ryder headed downstairs to find Emily in the kitchen glowing. Actually glowing. She poured herself a glass of water, a dreamy smile still lingering on her face. "How was it?" he asked. Emily turned, her eyes lighting up instantly. It was amazing." He leaned against the counter, smiling. "Yeah? Tell me everything." And she did. Every detail. Every laugh. Every moment. Ryder listened, watching her hands move excitedly as she spoke, her happiness spilling over in every word. And in that moment something clicked. She was different, but she was also completely, undeniably her. Weeks passed, and Emily continued to shine. Her relationship with Olivia deepened, bringing new emotions, new experiences, and yes, new challenges. Ryder watched from the sidelines, equal parts proud and protective. One evening at dinner, Emily cleared her throat nervously. I have something to tell you." Everyone looked up. "Olivia asked me to prom," she said, her voice trembling with excitement. "And I said yes." Their mom clapped instantly. "Oh, that's wonderful." Their dad smiled approvingly. "We're happy for you." Ryder, however, stayed quiet. Emily glanced at him, uncertainty flickering across her face. He hesitated, choosing his words carefully. "Are you sure?" he asked gently. "Prom's a big thing. Not everyone might be accepting." Emily's smile faded just a little. "I know, but I want to go. I want to experience it like any other girl." Their mom reached over, squeezing Emily's hand. "And you should." Ryder exhaled, realizing his fear was getting in the way of her joy. "You're right," he said softly. "I'm sorry. I just worry." He gave her a small smile. "But you deserve this. And if anyone gives you trouble," he cracked his knuckles dramatically, "they'll regret it." Emily laughed, her smile returning. "Thanks, Ree." Prom night arrived in a whirlwind. Emily stood in front of the mirror, smoothing down her emerald dress. It shimmered under the light, perfectly complementing her auburn hair. A knock sounded. "Come in." Ryder stepped inside and froze. "Wow." Emily turned shyly. "Is it too much?" "Too much," he repeated. You look incredible." Her smile grew, though nerves still lingered in her eyes. "I'm excited but scared. What if people say something?" Ryder stepped closer, placing his hands gently on her shoulders. "Listen to me. You're strong. You're beautiful. And anyone who can't see that? Not worth your time." He added with a grin. "Besides, I may have a few friends keeping an eye out." Emily blinked. "You did that?" "Of course," he said softly. "You're my sister." Her eyes shimmered as she hugged him tightly. The doorbell rang. "That's Olivia," Emily whispered. Ryder offered his arm with a playful bow. "Shall we?" Laughing, Emily took it. Downstairs, Olivia's face lit up the second she saw her. "Emily, you look stunning." As their parents snapped pictures and fussed over them, Ryder stood back, watching. He saw the way Olivia looked at Emily, with genuine admiration. He saw the confidence in his sister, the light she carried now, and his heart felt full. Before leaving, Emily pulled him into one last hug. "Thank you for everything." "Always," he whispered. Hours later, long after midnight, the front door creaked open. Ryder was already awake. He found Emily in the kitchen, still in her dress, glowing brighter than ever. "It was magical," she said, rushing into a hug. Everything was perfect. As she talked about the dancing, the laughter, the feeling of belonging, Ryder listened quietly. This moment, this happiness, it was everything. As dawn crept in, Emily yawned, exhaustion finally catching up to her. "I should sleep." "Yeah," Ryder said softly. "Go." She hugged him one last time. "Thanks for waiting up." "Always." Left alone in the quiet kitchen, Ryder leaned back against the counter. A deep sense of peace settled over him. The journey hadn't been easy. It hadn't been simple. But it had been worth it. Because in the end, he hadn't lost a brother. He had gained a sister. And somewhere along the way, he had grown too. Held he knew that he and Emily would face it together, their sibling bond unbreakable and their love for each other unconditional. Thanks for watching.